All right, hello everyone. This is my Campus Through Your Lens presentation. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about the physical environment. So the physical environment describes the aesthetics that a college campus provides to the naked eye, on the outside and the inside as well. So this includes man-made and naturally constructed objects in the environment. So for example, man-made buildings and their architectural design. So man-made buildings would be like the dorms, the cafeterias, the different buildings that students go to take their classes in. And then you have the different walkways and bridges around campus, and the athletic stadiums, the arenas, courts, and then just the natural scenery such as the trees or grass around the campus. So these physical environments can convey hidden and nonverbal messages that are much stronger than words. So let's say you come to a college campus, you're trying to figure out like if you really want to go here or not. Like, of course, you want to have the setup of the campus to be beautiful. Let's say the natural scenery is like Valdosta with palm trees and different things like that. Or it could be like an office setting to where the lighting is really good. There's a lot of positive posters and different things set up. So that could be something that could convey really good nonverbal messages. So the physical environment through my lens, obviously spend a lot of time here at the athletic field house, which houses both the football and women's soccer teams. It's designed to house meeting rooms for different football position groups, a team meeting room for them, a locker room for them, and there's a coach's locker room, a computer lab, and then there's offices for the coaches on both the soccer and football staffs. So the field house is also home of the weight room, obviously, and all sports lifting here. So we have two offices on the inside for the strength and conditioning staff, in which I am in one of them right now. So it features two practice fields for football. So they have a grass field and a turf field. There's also a grass practice and game day field for the women's soccer team. Then it also has an athletic training clinic. So going back to like the nonverbal messages that different physical environments can convey. So when you first come into the field house, like obviously there's a bunch of our trophies. We've got 4 national championships here for the football team. So those are displayed there, the GSC championships, the Peach Basket that we just won back in November. So obviously when you first come in, you want to see that this is a winning program. We'll see that it's a winning program with all the trophies and different things like that in the front. Then obviously when we come in the weight room, it's a really big job for us to make sure the weight room is clean, because the first thing that athletes are going to see, and that different recruits that come in are going to see is, is our weight room clean? Kind of what are the looks of it? How is it set up? But that could be a big part of if a kid comes and commits to us or not. So a human aggregate is an event of people that are commuting in the same area but have no social connections to their peers. So this environment is characterized by a group of people that differ in gender, age, racial ethnicity, and psychological traits that include personality types, interests, and styles. People in these environments are only connected by the facts that they're all in the same course, attend the same school, or are staff members at the same school on the same staff. So human aggregate examples through my lens. Here in the weight room at VSU, our staff obviously trains every sport on campus. So each sport is really only connected because they're all student athletes at VSU and they must train in the field house. Obviously, there's a couple different scenarios where kids could have grown up together or hang out outside of sports. Of course, that's always an option. But though they're all, in some cases, at the same place at the same time, they technically aren't connected in any other way. So a lot of the times, Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, we train cross country and the Red Hots at the same time. So we have 10 racks so that we can split them up. 5 racks for the Red Hots and then 5 racks for cross country. This also kind of comes up with tennis and cheer. It'll be the same way, split 5 and 5. And those teams train Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Um, so our teams are obviously characterized by many different ages, ethnicities, and they speak numerous different languages and have many personality types. So because all these teams differ, they can have separate perceptions of the weight room environment based on their respective experiences. So how football feels like they experience the weight room and how we train them could be different than how cross country or tennis or the Red Hots or anybody else experiences us as well. So at the bottom here, the bottom left, I have my cross country team lifting. Next to that is football. Next to that is tennis. And then the last picture is Mr. Fred, who is a 86-year-old man that I train. So next we have a socially constructed environment. So this differs a lot from a human aggregate. So a socially constructed environment is characterized by a group of people that, though they still differ in personality and in many other areas, must work together to achieve a common goal. So this group of people are assembled for the sole purpose of achieving one common goal or resolving common issues and are bounded together because of their simple interests. So a socially constructed environment is just a lot of different people coming from different areas, different backgrounds, kind of similar to a human aggregate, but they're placed in this environment and they're forced to kind of solve problems together. So they got to kind of face their differences in order to come up with solutions. So examples through my lens. I'm here at the field house. I assist with training our football team, and I oversee training for men's basketball, men and women's tennis, and men and women's cross country. So though the members of my respective teams differ in a multitude of ways, they were all recruited to be on their teams because of their simple interest in their sport and must now work together to win championships and build team camaraderie. So though they may have their differences at times, they may disagree on things, they may argue. So practice weights, game days are all about getting better, coming together to compete against their opponents. So usually we have a time like a training camp for football, just any type of preseason. A lot of times here in D2, a lot of teams don't train over the summer. So we lose that time, but football unfortunately does. So football is obviously a sport to where like it can't just be one person. You can have one really good person on a team that can change the game, but if everyone on the team isn't coming together to reach that common goal of scoring a touchdown or stopping an offense and doing their correct alignment and assignment, then things will go wrong. So though a lot of them may have come out of the transfer portal, they may not have grown up together. They may not know each other. They may have a lot of differences. They still got to come together for that one common goal. So their collaborative opinions and perspectives can be used to change their team culture for the better. So here with football, we have a leadership council. We have a lot of guys that, the coaches trust and different things like that. So they're put on this leadership council to come together, kind of govern the team, to kind of be like a player-led example of what it is to be a really good player and a really good person, and a really good teammate. So like those guys can come together, though also they have differences, can come together and kind of feel the pulse of the team, kind of feel the morale of the team, and decide what changes you need to make, or just different things like that. So the 4 pictures I have, got the tennis team there, so the men and the women. The men are kind of cut out. Got my cross country team on the top right. Basketball game, bottom left, and then football on the bottom right. So an organizational environment is kind of characterized by the organization and processes that make up the organizational facet. This includes the policies and procedures put in place, the overall morale and culture of the organization, and the staff or workers that make up the environment. So through my lens, the field house consists of a head strength and conditioning coach and then 3 graduate assistants, including myself. So football consists of a head coach, assistant coaches, that include offensive and defense coordinators and different position coaches, and they also have graduate assistants and have student managers and stuff too. So women's soccer consists of a head coach and 2 graduate assistants on their staff. So to the right, I kind of included some of the staff directory. That includes our staff, so our head strength coach, Coach Maddox, me, and then 2 of our other graduate assistants there. Then on the right is after we beat West Georgia and tied for the GSC Conference Championship. And here are my resources.